Welcome everyone to today's crypto and stocks TA live stream. Today is October 8th, Friday 2021. It's about 4:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in the USA. We're going to cover some crypto and stocks. If you have a ticker request, go ahead and type them in either live chat here on TradingView, YouTube, or Twitch. And we'll go ahead and get started here. I did create an updated crypto list for this stream moving forward. So we're going to look at some of those today. First, we should look at total. TOTAL, Crypto Market Cap Index. Before we even turn on any indicators, always remember we have the resistance up here, 2.39 trillion to 2.57 trillion. I'm going to keep repeating that because until this resistance here is broken, it's still a ceiling for now. Still a ceiling for now. Okay, so we would need to see the official breakout to actually call it. Okay. One thing to note though is if we do zoom out, this is why it's important to use daily charts. Okay, if we do zoom out, use extended trend lines. Okay, then we can kind of see there is a potential daily ascending triangle pattern possible that's setting up. If we even use the extended triangle way down, extended trend line way down here from the pandemic lows. Make sure we get some clean trend line action using the close. One could think, okay, this might be a tightening equilibrium pattern into the rest of the year, the next 3 months of the year on total crypto market cap. Just have to realize that, okay, we're stuck at this resistance 3 times now. So if we don't break it and go up, right, we could pull back down easily here over time. Okay, so 2 scenarios. Bullish scenario is when you break above this, hold above it, and continue up. That would mean a lot of people have to buy. That would mean a lot of people have to buy. Okay, but just think about the psychology right now. How hyped are people on crypto? How many people do you know? Right? The bearish scenario is we pull back down to 1.92 trillion, possibly 1.8 trillion, and try to stay alive here. Okay, so those are the 2 levels I would watch out for. I'll just highlight it for next time. Here, and then here, the bottom trend line support. All right, also, we're going to just look very quickly at some other ones. Total 2. This is crypto market cap excluding BTC, without BTC. So this includes Ethereum and the other altcoins. So same deal, getting stuck near the height of this resistance. So just keep in mind in a potential bearish scenario, we have all this downside here. If this turns into a lower high, where was our lower low? Somewhere in here, in the middle heart line. Okay, so watch out for that. The same bullish principle applies though. If something in the next month or 2 weeks, 4 weeks, this happens, that's a totally different story. Total 3 is crypto market cap without Bitcoin and Ethereum, essentially all the other altcoins for the most part. Same deal. I'm just going to keep drawing this box, okay, until something happens. We have our support and resistance levels right here, like that. We can even draw a giant parallel channel if we want to, just like that. All right, so the same principle applies. Need a breakout here, or we're going to retest middle heart line. In a back case scenario, we'll fall back down to the parallel channel support on the bottom side. Okay, now we can look at Bitcoin. Now that we understand the entire crypto market cap, one thing I will note yesterday, okay, is resistance zone, where 55, 60, 65,000, easy three numbers. What happened today? We have a little bit of consolidation for the past 2 days. This candle's not closed for 4 more hours, but it is going sideways. We have seen in the past this consolidation went sideways, this consolidation went sideways. Another move is possible. Right, if we use Elliott wave, this 3 wave is weird though because it should have been the longest wave. So a daily Elliott wave might not work. So clean. Okay. We might get one more leg up, but it doesn't have to be like that, because if we cannot break above 56,000 resistance, then our next level of support down here, the major level of support, is 50,000. So we're playing between these two levels here. I would watch for the break of these two numbers in the longer term. Okay, but if we zoom in, what was I saying yesterday in the stream yesterday? I gave people a free setup, educational setup, but if somebody wanted to try it, right, and try to play it, somebody could have made almost 4%, right? Probably 3.4%, but close enough to the target, right? I was saying the support is 54,000 or 53,000, and to possibly go long there, and then we longed there in the European session. Went up in the European session. So I want to point that out to people. Okay, but now that that's over, I'm going to erase that. And in the H1 chart, well, I should point out though, I noticed today on the H4 chart, we are double topped right here on the price. Let me just erase everything so you can see, because this is the latest setup, is we have a double top right here in the price. So 55,000, 56,000 is the ceiling. You see that? How many times we touched that? 1, 2, 3 times. They're rejecting down from it. And now it's tightening up in an equilibrium. Tightening up in a bull pennant, so to speak. Or a bull flag if you don't connect it. Like that. Consolidating. All right. So in a bearish scenario, we could drop on Bitcoin negative 2.69% if we lose this support level down to 52K. So want to watch for that if that happens this weekend. If not, a bullish scenario would be we just retest this support at 53.8K and try to hold on to this range inside here, and maybe we'll get one more leg up next week. Or maybe even starting tomorrow or Sunday. Alrighty. So want to just watch out for that on Bitcoin. Okay, because on the day chart, it is starting to kind of get a little bit overextended, right? On the H4, it's already down crossed, losing momentum on the H4, and we're consolidating. Usually when that happens, it pulls back down, right? So on an H1, though, there is a little momentum building, but, right, we might touch this lower 100 EMA on the H1. This is what I'm saying, because it did that one time here, right? And then we had a power move up, momentum up. It might do it again. So I would just keep people in mind for that over the weekend, because we have double potential bearish signals, right? We're losing momentum here and a head and shoulders here, losing momentum here. So I would not be surprised if we pull back down to 53 or 52. Okay, that does not mean the rally is over because we have a golden cross. Okay, it's just when we get too overextended like that, momentum might fade down. Also, we have bank earnings starting next week in the stock market. So a lot of Wall Street people, they might not put all their attention on Bitcoin anymore because it's bank earnings starting next week. It's huge. Q3 2021 bank earnings starting. Okay, so that's Bitcoin. Let's get to requests. One thing I will note on the futures chart, now I'm looking at BTC1, the CME futures chart, is look at this consolidation, right? On the futures chart, there's been no pullback because the futures exchange closes. So we went straight up, swing low to swing high, 37%, consolidating. This is the first consolidation on futures that we're seeing, which is why I'm being a little bit cautious. All these things combined, total with the total index hitting the resistance, futures chart consolidating, and then Bitcoin 4-hour chart looking like it might lose momentum in the next day or 2 or 3 days. So I would be a little cautious, like yellow flag for Bitcoin right now. The rally is not over. Talking about bull rally is not over. It can consolidate, right, and keep going, or it might hesitate right here and pull back a little bit. So I'll just watch out for that. Okay, we have some forex requests. Let's start with USD JPY. Let's do some majors, right? Do some of the majors. USD JPY. All right. First thing I would do, we always zoom out. We always zoom out. And we know JPY is a bit of a safe haven currency, generally speaking. So I would, just keeping that in mind, I'm using the forex.com chart. Okay, this is the bigger term. Bigger term triangles. Okay, I will come back to Bitcoin after this to answer your question. So we got these trend lines, we got the support and resistance. Okay, so one thing to note is on the monthly, we did poke out of this trend line resistance up here, right? So we kind of try to find some clues. It was consolidating here. This was a nice support level end of December. That was almost 1 year ago, over 1 year ago. And then we rallied if someone's trying to go long here. It isn't a daily uptrend though. Why? Because it's a USD pairing. Right? Because if you look on the left side for 3 years, we were downtrending and now it's uptrending in the longer term. In the H4, however, a little bit more of a consolidation type of pattern. You see this? It's still uptrending, but just very baby-like. Okay, very small uptrend. And I'm running out of space on my screen because I'm zoomed in so much. I'll zoom out a little bit. On an H1, yes, we are nearing this resistance spot. Hold on. We are nearing this resistance spot of 112.70. Okay, and then the 15 minutes right here, we are seeing possible little bit of double topping on the RSI, right? Forex, always tricky. So I would play this. This is how I play this, is to be very careful of this resistance right here. If somebody's trying to go short, maybe, right? Because it's a resistance at the blue circle. If somebody's trying to go long, this is not the greatest spot on a 15-minute because pulling back down to 112 would be a better place to long, right? But if someone's going to try to short, possibly somewhere here at 112, somebody's going to try to long somewhere around here, 111.74. All right, so I hope that makes sense. We have some questions here. Will it go down for short form for BTC? Bitcoin. Okay, so yeah, we did swing trading. Let's come back to this and look inside. The H1. You're probably talking about 5-minute 15, right, for day trading for Bitcoin. So then let's look. You have to keep in mind, though, we're heading into the weekend. There's less liquidity. There's less trading. Wall Street is just closed in 5 minutes from now. So there's going to be less liquidity this weekend. Sometimes Bitcoin likes to pump up on a weekends, or altcoins go crazy on a weekends. But in general, because of less liquidity and demand and buying, Bitcoin might pull back down just on that anecdote. Let's check a 5 minute though for our day traders out there. Our 5 minute did hit this oversold at about 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So this is probably Wall Street, New York traders buying this up about 1.3%. If we're really honest with ourselves with the technical analysis, we're stuck at this resistance and we pull back down. This also looks like SHIB Unicoin on a 15 minute. We'll get to that. But coming down, right, we are in an uptrend, but just hit this resistance right here at 54.5K and pulling back down, right? So if somebody wants to try to go short, I mean, somebody right here at 54.7K, that was the short signal, right? I'm not really going to look at I'm not really going to look at a 1 minute, but right, if someone's trying to short, this is a very, very short-term setup, like only going to last like 15 minutes. It's actually shorting down right now. Somebody's shorting it right now. So what I watch for is this thing shorting down probably to like 54.18K right here. Why? Because it's support level right there. You're playing between these two levels as a day trader. Okay, so it's another consolidation pattern. This was uptrend on the left here. This is uptrend. This is losing momentum, downtrend, consolidation, resistance breakdown, pump attempt, fail, boom. Somebody's going to short that, the bots and the algorithms. And you can short it down, hit your targets. Again, this is not financial advice, okay? Everything on TradingView is not financial advice. It's just educational. So, it's very, very tight short. Very, very tight. Short, presuming people are leveraged on futures or shorting, is 54.138K. But, as soon as this hits like oversold, you might get this bounce, right? This is the short squeeze. So if someone's going to short, it's going to bounce down here like that. So that's a very, very, very short-term trade. Okay, we have another question. You're new here and watched my stream yesterday. I thought it was great. Thank you. In case I want to watch you live, do you stream at a regular time or announce ahead of time? Well, I'm a full-time trader and investor. So I am usually busy during market hours, meaning stock market hours. And then I'm trying to figure out the best time to stream. So I do trade and invest in stocks. So that's 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then there's a small window of time like right now where I can review stocks in the past and get ready for crypto trading and investing and more charting in the evening time. So in this past week, I was doing about 4 o'clock, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time streaming on weekdays. But my schedule, it depends on the market. I'm probably going to stream less for the next month because of earnings. I need to focus on earnings for 4 weeks straight. So, but the good news is I have a free Discord group that anybody could join. The social media link is in my profile. I'm on TradingView, YouTube, and Twitch. So if I even do stream, you can catch that replay. And I tend to do longer term time frames on my streams to future proof the stream a little bit. Like I'm not talking about the next 1 minute or 5 minutes. I'm talking about the next day or weeks. So my streams have some relative longevity to them. But I am just letting people know I am a full-time trader investor. So streaming here on TradingView is not the only thing that I do. Just putting that out there. So thank you for that question. And I hope you're here to, learning something. And for anybody watching this, if you're new here, I encourage you. There's so many other streamers. There's a lot of education on the front page of TradingView, education, ideas. If you're just curious and look around on the homepage, you can find a lot of information there about stocks, crypto, forex, commodities, in market indexes, global, and then there's Google as well, and books and such. So I encourage you to try to educate yourself as much as possible in whatever free time and energy you have. If you're trying to be successful long term. Okay, so where were we? SHIB. Okay. Shiba. All right. Get Shiba. SHIB. All right. So I actually gave a free setup on Shiba Inu coin yesterday. Educational, but nonetheless, it still worked. What did I say? I just drew it right here. I said there's two scenarios that could happen. I'm going to explain what I talked about. If people watched my stream yesterday, I probably talked about it at like 4 or 5 or 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. So then somebody had like 6 hours to make a decision. What are they gonna do on Shiba coin, Shiba Inu, right? So what I said was, we're pulling back, we're holding this support right here above the 50% retracement, and I drew this box relative like right here. What I've generally said was, if somebody's gonna try to long day trade this, set like a 6 or 7% stop loss and like a 10% target, right? And then what exactly happened? We held that support. The stop loss did not trigger, and then you actually went up 20 to 30%. I gave that setup yesterday for Bitcoin and Shiba Inu, right? I said for people who want to basically take risk and such like that, right? It's not the most beginner-friendly trade, but if somebody's willing to put on that risk and commit to it, somebody made money, right? So now the question is, that's over. So we don't have FOMO. If you missed it, it's okay. Just move on. Learn from it, move on. So what's happening with Shiba Inu? First, we had the big parallel channel breakout that I called on my Discord and the stream and Discord live stream list about like a week ago or somebody came and asked me for this. So I told them exactly what might happen. Now, with the H1 and H4, what we need to watch out for is trend. You turn everything off for a second. Turn everything off. You have to understand trend. This left side was an uptrend, right? You can draw the trend line up, multiple trend lines up. You could draw this one and then this one. So experienced traders know, let me zoom in. There we go. Experienced traders know once we lose these trend lines here on the downside, that's not good. Okay, because you have to realize support, bounce by the dip, support, bounce, this one failed. Usually after the third time, when it's so obvious, because most traders and investors know, if you're really in the market, that the fourth time is like the obvious time. The fourth, fifth, sixth bounces are like, it's too obvious. So most people, somebody tried to do it. Somebody tried right there, right here, they failed. So it became a downtrend. Okay. And if you just see, you never want to catch a falling knife, right? So I stayed way clear of this section right here on Shiba Inu. I was like, as a day trader, from all my study, knowledge, and experience in the market, when something's crashing, you just stay away from it. You can make a plan, but you don't have to trade it, because you're going to get stopped out 20 times if you try to day trade in this thing. The better thing to do was wait for the support level. Okay, you could use Fibonacci. These are more, again, my stream is not the most beginner information, okay, because I'm using like more advanced tools and techniques, but I'm just going to do it anyways, right? So this is my style. So we found that support here on the 50% retracement of Fibonacci, but when we're looking on the stream, it just crashed right into it right at the end of my stream. Okay, so mentally after the stream, I was like, this is our line in the sand, 2073. And for the next couple hours, it held there. There's a reversal signal right here. It's triple bottom for crypto, triple bottom support. There's a BART pattern if you're a trading view analyst. Upside down heading shoulders for classical patterns. There's a triangle. There's 4 patterns right here saying this thing's going to do something, right? So if you study and you know technical analysis, and then you're willing to stay up and stick with this and not get frustrated, right? Day traders made plenty of profits on this yesterday. This was what? 10% volatility 3 times in a row. Beautiful, beautiful trading. Right, but now we're here. So this part is over. We just have to mentally let go of that. I'm reviewing it for educational purposes. Why do we come down here? Because there's a loss of momentum. This is also a bearish signal is what I'm also saying on Bitcoin is you might get the H4 might pull back into its EMAs. We're seeing it playing out on Shiba right now. What we need to watch out for, though, is take a quick side note here and understand that Shiba Inu is not Dogecoin. It's not the same thing, okay? Just because they're both dogs, right? Just because they're both dog coins, Shiba Inu, right? We have to realize the difference is between Dogecoin and Shiba Inu is Dogecoin was the first meme coin this year, right? That January, February, March rally, that was like unprecedented in crypto history, right? This is the second one though, Shiba Inu. Also, the big difference is Robinhood trading exchange app does not have Shiba Inu listed on Robinhood. That's why I think this time's going to be different for Shiba. Doge was different because all the Robinhood traders could easily buy it on Robinhood, right? So until Shiba Inu gets listed on Robinhood, if it ever gets listed, I'm not expecting huge 1,000% move up because we already had Elon Musk pump and crash, right? And a lot of people lost faith in him during that time. I remember people were just burnt. They lost a lot of money. They lost faith in Elon Musk. And they got pissed off and angry at Elon Musk, right? So this is the second time. This is the second time he's not trying to do anything, but I'm saying it's the same cycle, right? But the fact that it's not on Robinhood has me being a little bit more cautious on Shiba, okay? Because if it was going to be Dogecoin repeat, Shiba should have went 1,000%. Shiba only went 300% and faded down. It's not over yet, okay? But I just have to make that clear to people. This is not exactly Dogecoin 2.0. So back to the charts. What I want to watch out for as an analyst is not just being like, ooh, zooming in on a 5 minute and looking at this is the longer term trend is we were uptrending, we were downtrending. Now the question is this a lower high and we're going to reject down right there. So 2899 is our big resistance that we need to watch out for. Immediate support 2505. Once we lock it in like that, and then back here 2091. So there's 4 levels we can watch. But I'm just watching over the weekend this circle, right? Yeah, I mean, I've been in the crypto market for years now. You know, when you get a super pump, it should go more than 300%, right? Because this is a baby coin. It's like so. It's not even 1 cent. So there's something there. You know, we lost some momentum, but it's not over. But this is the first lower high that we're establishing since the run. Okay, this is why it's significant. This is why it's significant, right? This should have been dip, 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 loss of the dip. And there's actually another trend line forming right there. So it's turning into a descending triangle, almost like gold. Okay. So, I mean, I like Shiba Unicorn. I'm not against it, but we just want to watch out for the hype. Watch out for the hype. Watch out for the FOMO. Is that on a bear case scenario, if for some reason we stop this rally and lose momentum on Shiba, this is our lower high right here, cluster, and we might pull back probably to the middle here to 2410, 2410, or retest 2155. If we lose 2155, we're going down to 1725, almost guaranteed. And then there might be a little battle, might be a bounce somewhere in this range. Okay, that's the bearish scenario. The bullish scenario is we could keep, if you're looking at this triangle here, this one, the new descending triangle that's forming, we could consolidate just like Dogecoin. This is where it might get similar to Dogecoin. Is we had a huge run up, pull back, consolidation, but we held a support. On Dogecoin, we held like 7 cent or 6 cent support for like 3 months straight, or 2 months, for a long time. And then we exploded up again, right? So I'm just giving Shiba, time to rest and focus. And we could tighten up in this range and break out one more time weeks from now, right? So those are the 2 levels I'll be playing off of Shiba. Um, also, one thing to know: why do we bounce up on a H1? We had momentum, MACD momentum up. So until I see some strong momentum building on the H4, right? This setup can usually happen, boom, 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 and then this will build, and then we'll bounce longer term to test one of the EMAs down here, right? So I've seen this kind of setup has happened before. It's just a matter of how hyped are people and what are the technicals right now. So yeah, you definitely had some momentum loss right here, and it was oversold right when I was talking about on the stream yesterday. Okay, so anybody trying to long right now in this period of time, there's significant more downside risk. There's like 10 to 20% to the downside negative risk. Versus if you have, there's two scenarios right here. It's if it's going to break out above 29.35, then fine. Somebody could put that's fine. Somebody could put a 2-to-1 trade on like that, educational wise, and try to play this breakout if it's going to continue like that. If it doesn't, we fade back down, right? A lower order, discounted order, would make more sense. The lowest one being here, or even here if you're really, really patient, 1745. So I guarantee you that the larger term accounts and people with larger term account size, they always cascade their orders, right? Nobody is buying $1 million order like right at this random spot that I just picked, right? They're cascading. They put $10,000, $10,000, $10,000, $10,000 like that. They do it like that because if it crashes, all their orders fill and they get the average price of their target. Okay, so that's how larger term accounts size their orders. And if you watch the ticker tape very closely, the time in sales and the order flow on Binance, you'll see it. The bots, there's so many bots and algorithms trading. You'll see it if you just watch it carefully. It's the same amount every single time. All right, so that's Shiba. Yeah, they're DCAing in, but I try not to use that word for people because because somebody could have DCA'd in here dollar cost average, but then they got screwed over unless they dollar cost average all the way to the bottom. So my style is more I start stacking orders. This is way too advanced for probably for people, but then I start stacking orders when there's a real setup. I don't stack it on the way down like that because I know it's not time. I start stacking it here like that on a consolidation, or like maybe I'll try this one and then make some profit, sell here, or hold it. And if it crashes back down, I might stack it like 2 times like that. But I don't stack it like 20 orders on the way down like that. Because then my average price would have been 27.14, and then I'm forced to sell at 28.97 because I know this thing's about to come down. So different strokes for different folks. Really depends on the asset too, because we're talking crypto here. That's why you don't hear me say dollar cost average. But if it's like Apple stock, I might do that. Okay. Great. Does anybody have any more requests? What we can do is we could just do a quick visual because I made this new watch list just for us on the stream of USA-based crypto names and the USA-based crypto stocks. Okay, and they're organized by market cap, biggest to smallest. So we could just go down this and take a look visually, and this is what I was doing last night. Just no indicators, and just take a look visually and give you an example of how I get a quick rundown of the market. Hope this helps somebody. Okay, so Bitcoin, we're just right at the resistance point. We're right at the resistance point, right? So already I'm looking at support right here, 52.47 and then 55.6. Next, Ethereum near the resistance. Maybe I should draw it for people so I'm not just talking. Resistance right here, okay? At the top side. And then already visually in my mind, I'm drawing this triangle like that. Even if I don't draw it, it's because I've done TA so much. So I'm already drawing this triangle and understanding. Okay, there's support on the downside here at 2902 and resistance target at 4,000. Next, Binance Coin. Even without drawing any triangles, automatically know resistance and support like that. And then you should draw a triangle because Binance is actually consolidating equilibrium. So Binance coin gonna do something eventually, plus or minus 30%. So up 30% or down 30%, which is these two gray line targets. If this is a bear pennant, bull pennant flag, or just a consolidation like that. It's tightening. And then it's gonna go boom like that or breakdown. Next one, ADA. Okay, Cardano's a little bit tougher because the trend lines are so steep, but the immediate support and resistance, I know there's so many lines, but I can't erase it. There's resistance and support. That's all I'd stare at on this chart. And then the trend line support, we kind of lost that. Okay, just to get an idea. It is, if we zoom in, it is tightening up here, right? So Cardano also looking like it might do something. Cardano's very correlated. I should erase this. Cardano's very correlated with Bitcoin. So if we pull back, the support is 216. If we break out, it's 232. So there's two spots for people to try this. Solana. Okay, Solana, again, tightening up in an equilibrium to side. Okay, it's no longer in its massive bull run up. Almost downtrend, survived by the trend line, bounce up. And it would make sense, right? Although there is a Morningstar pattern. Just erase this blue stuff. People can't see. The trend line blue dot on the bottom makes more sense because this is a support level for Solana, right? Because you could see it snaking around in here, just boom, boom, boom. And so if it comes down to 139, that would be an interesting long spot. The resistance, if it happens to break out above here, like 170, 165, that kind of range. So you're just playing between those two levels like this on Solana. Doge. So we broke out of this long-term equilibrium pattern going sideways on Dogecoin. We lost that support, which I highlighted very strongly, pulled back down and retested, So found a support level at where I marked, like, I don't know how long ago, a week or two ago. Found the support, trend change, retested the top of that, became resistant. So TA works if we're patient. If somebody bought here and, there was this triangle right here, which I might have talked about, okay, it's measurable. The triangle is measurable. 20% from the breakout. Where do we go? At exactly negative 20%. So technical analysis works if somebody knows how to use it. And just have a little bit of patience, right? And understand that, okay, if I lose here and I get screwed over and I get stop loss there as a long, I was expecting to go up, but if I get lost, then it's okay. Just wait for the next trade. Somebody could have done here if they're real sensitive to charts intraday, or wait for this, which is a very strong signal that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times we have a support level. So then somebody could put some risk on education like this, right? A 2 to 1 trade, and boom. How long did that take with the Bitcoin rally? 8 days, right? So now with Dogecoin, the fact that we're under this resistance is the problem here. So if we don't, this is a triple candle reversal pattern. So if we don't go up, we're going to come down probably on Doge. You have a doji, you have a shooting star doji, and this turns to an evening star pattern. So if you know candlestick patterns, it looks like that right now. Next, Uni. Let me erase some of this old stuff. We still have this resistance yellow box on the top, like that. Now the hope for Uni and for Bitcoin too is if we have a strong pullback down, this could turn into a continuation upside down head and shoulders pattern. So on Uni, that would be plus or minus 36% long term. If we fail on the neckline, it brings back down to where I drew the support, and it matches this support levels over here, negative 36%. So this is like a 3-month target, but 36% in 3 months for stocks and crypto, it's not bad, right? Anybody would want to take 36% because that's 3.6 years of average ETFs gains in the stock market. So you're getting 3 years returns in like 3 months possibly. depending if it works or not. Okay, Litecoin, still Litecoin in this consolidation sideways pattern on a day chart. Right, we can see here Litecoin had a nice run up this year, fade back down, pretty strong, double bottom, Bitcoin rally, pullback, and tightening range. So I would draw this line here. Now there's an even smaller triangle. So you're playing between these two levels right now on Litecoin. This. So immediate support at like 151. Okay, and again, you can see the topping out action. Bitcoin just had a little bit of an intraday bear breakdown. We lost 54,000 as we're talking. So that might be New Zealand, Australia traders and American traders doing some of the shorting right here. So, you know, if this is our lower high, we could expect to pull back down. Bitcoin Cash, BCH. All right, I'll do a fresh chart. First thing I do, resistance, support, support, resistance. Boom, easy like that. Then trend line like this, trend line like this. That took like 10 seconds. So now you have some kind of, how did I get there though, is the question. Okay, so this first resistance, from experience, I know touch point, touch, touch, touch. That's how I know it's strong resistance. Support level, immediate pivot point, touch, 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 and then inflection up, down, reversal point right there, right? So that's how I know. Support level down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches. Resistance here, and then we lost that resistance level. So that's how you know. Trend lines, you connect as much points as possible to the current price, and trend lines on the bottom. So trend line support, trend line resistance. Then you get, now you just did technical analysis, support, resistance, trend on a day chart. A day chart. So this is where I would start off for people just like starting out. You don't have to do everything I'm doing. It's because I look at a lot of charts per day. If you're starting out, just look at Bitcoin for crypto, and then just look at S&P 500, the SPY ETF for stocks. Those are the two assets for stocks and crypto. That's the only thing you need to look at to get a general sense of the market, because S&P 500, we know from research, represents 80% of the stock market. So 80% of the move is going to be S&P 500, whether the stocks in that inside the ETF is going to go up or down. Bitcoin it's probably almost the same. I know it's greater than 50%. It was 80% back on September 7th. So if you just know how to analyze Bitcoin and S&P 500, you'll be able to forecast 80% of the market, crypto or stocks. There's always going to be that one coin like Shiba Inu or one Harmony like today or ONT Ontology that's going to do something different because it has its own setup. And we'll talk about that when we get to them. But Bitcoin Cash, see a lot of coins uptrending, then boom, downtrending, uptrending, downtrending. But if it's up, down, long term, it's tightening. So on the downside, target $506, topside target $657. So those are the two big levels that I would watch out for. And there's like a middle one too, 553. So when things are tightening sideways, that's indecision in the marketplace, meaning maybe half the people think we're going up, maybe half the people think we're going down. Link, again, very, very similar. I don't have to draw much more here. Is the same concept of consolidation, equilibrium, tightening, symmetrical triangle on a daily like that. So again, the $24 and $29 are our two patterns inside here. Excuse me, not patterns, but price levels that we're watching for. And we can see a little bit of fading down on the day chart on the price. Okay, next, ALGO. ALGO is different. Why is it different? Because you could tell it's not in this large symmetrical triangle like this. ALGO doesn't look like that on the chart. ALGO is different. You have a trend line here and trend line here. So this was a setup, a day chart setup on ALGO, where on September 29, 30, somebody asked me, I think for this chart, it was an Atom chart, but the support level here was a decent level of reward to risk ratio, and we kind of looked at it. There was a smaller one in here, so I remember saying if this thing breaks out, we're going to the top of this blue dot. We exactly hit that and went more and came back to the blue dot. So technical analysis works if we're just patient and we draw manually, and you if you're long, you're trying to buy support. Okay, if you're a short, a bear, you're trying to sell resistance. So somebody said intraday, ooh, resistance, okay, and sell. And then they closed their position here. And the fact that we rejected down from this resistance is not good, $2. But who knows? This could be a continuation setup. That sometimes happens too. So I'm not going to say we're going to crash down like that. You're just playing between $2.04 and $1.75. SHIB, we just did that one. But I'm going to continue to watch SHIB just because just in case we have this insane Elliott wave, if this ends up happening, right, on SHIB, okay, then it might not be over. But if I start seeing some weakness on SHIB, there's one doji candle, large doji candle on SHIB, and we have this resistance cluster on the left side. So, in the short term, that's why people are pulling back. But I would not be surprised if we end up long term, like 3-4 weeks from now, we keep trying to rally up. But in the very, very short term, until I see some more momentum intraday, right? If this does not break 35.15, then we're in trouble on SHIB short term. Next, MATIC. MATIC. So this is a fresh chart. The overhead resistance 176. Oh wait, no, it's not a fresh chart. But 176 support dollar, and then you could draw this and draw this trend line, and now everything makes sense. Is that boom, pivot point, resistance, support level. So this is right correlated with that Bitcoin bounce a couple days ago, and we're up on MATIC. So the resistance target would be $1.53 on the top side. The support on the downside would be $1.16. We just watch these two levels like that. Now, if a pattern starts developing, that's a different story. If it's upside down head and shoulders, beautiful pattern, plus or minus 30%, which happens to just be our top resistance. And if we fail from that, negative 30% would be 84 cents down here. So now we have some general idea. XLM Stellar. Stellar, resistance, support, support, resistance, like clockwork. And then we could use candle body closes to do this. But the problem is here's a good example, is even for me on a day chart, weekly chart, right? I'm only looking at year-to-date data. Does that make sense? Since January. If you're trying to capture the most move out of anything, for crypto and stocks, we have to zoom out even more. So here's where I'll take a quick side break from what I'm doing and try to zoom out. Zoom out. Let me use like something that has way more data, like a KuCoin or QOB. Or is there another one? Is there Bitfinex? Okay, that one's fine. So we're looking at 3 years of data now. So now you understand why we're getting stuck here, is because this is not the beginning of Stellar, but now you see there was more resistance and support levels crossing over like that. So it's important to zoom out instead of just doing this like that. What I keep doing is at a certain point, depending on your time frame, to get the much longer term trend line on an extended. If we do this like this analysis, that means this trend line was here for 10 months straight. 10 months straight before this price history even existed. These two targets were here for this whole time since the pivot point of December 2020 before the rally. It's here the whole time. That's why that's why I'm saying we just try to put in some effort, right, on the charting to try to get ahead of these moves and get ahead of people. Shiba Inu was forecastable like 1 or 2 weeks before it even exploded up on that one stream. So now that we have the big target, we could see our larger, longer term resistance target of like 78, 90 cents is up here. Our much shorter term trend line is right here. So it looks like it's going to make a move at some point. Again, almost all cryptos look like it's like plus 20 or minus 20 in the next couple months. So if we don't maintain this uptrend, we need a higher high and higher low to maintain the uptrend on altcoins. If not, we could pull back down and retest like that. So I'm just watching 37 cents and 25 cents right now. And I do watch the intradays, like 4 hour, 1 hour, but for big targets, this is how I like to do it. Keeps people centered, and keeps people. This is how you reduce the FOMO, is that if you draw a long-term trend line, if someone's extremely disciplined in their trading, they would have just put orders right here. When it touched it, automatic order. When it touched it, automatic order, buy order, right, as a long. Okay. I might not do every single coin because that we might go like 2 hours, but maybe I'll just go super fast for these last ones. Adam, uh, this one's already pre-done. There's symmetrical triangle on the daily, and so plus or minus 20% in our targets. Okay, so I watch for the break of the breakthrough or the breakdown of $37 or $35, like that. Because you could see it touched this bottom part, and this is where somebody asked me, I think somewhere here, maybe it was here, of is it going to go up on a H1, and it did go up to hit the resistance target. But the bigger picture is the symmetrical triangle here. FIL, Filecoin, FIL. Here we go, another triangle, and our resistance, resistance, support, support, boom, 4 lines like that. So tightening. So if again our upside target, if we can maintain a rally on all altcoins, would be $95. If not, pulling back to 60 longer term. I'm talking about a month from now. But 20%, nice and easy, plus or minus. VeChain, VeChain. Now, if you see here, there's a much longer term trend line extension on VeChain. Boom, right there. And then you have the top side triangle. There's also the super target like that. So it could go either way at this point. Um, it's really up to Bitcoin, honestly. 15 cents, top side target, resistance 12, support 8, support 10. That's how I do this. It's tightening. So, well, I was saying that the question is, do I think the market's going to go up or down because of all these setups, right? So we'll pause here. Let me finish VeChain and then we'll go back to total. So I'll just put the two targets here, and we just have to watch what happens. 13 cents, 8 cents to downside. To answer your question, okay, we'll come to a total chart. Total chart, what is it? It's the total crypto market cap in dollar value, trillions of dollars. Just every single crypto that's calculatable combined. So it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, all the altcoins in one price chart. So again, the chances of us going up in the near term, it has to break this resistance yellow bar up here. Can you see that? That's it. That's it. We got rejected here 2 days in a row, and if we can't break it with confidence and power in the bull market in the next couple of weeks, there's less likely chance that it's going to go up. Does that make sense? Because if this pulls back down, that means all coins are going to come down. So the support on the downside here is right here, 1.15 trillion, which is a very low number. There's an intermediate support. I'll use a parallel channel to make it easier for people to see right here. So we just kind of bounced off of these levels, if you know what I mean, right? Somebody drew it like this. I know people use parallel channel as analysis. So the same thing is happening with the market. Is last year we're in a definite bull run. Yes, we're going up last year. Hooray. They made a pullback. No, Dogecoin crash, China ban, mining ban. El Salvador legalizes crypto. Yes. Oh no, they have problems with their wallet. China bans crypto transactions. And then the rally here is started because USA said they will not be banning crypto and Bitcoin. Multiple, the SEC, the Federal Reserve Chairman and the head of the SEC said it. So to answer our question very simply, will crypto go up? We have to break the resistance. Very simple. If we do not break through the resistance, we are most likely pulling back down. It doesn't mean we're going to zero, right? And pulling it down to here, right? So yes, there are way more other factors like long squeeze, short squeeze, NFTs, the DeFi market, right? More developments, social sentiment, tweets and such. But I'm talking about the big plays because this rally was started by Wall Street. I don't think people realize it. Because if you look at what time did it happened at like 5 or 6 a.m. Or 8 or 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So what is that? That's pre-market of Wall Street. So, we cannot underestimate Wall Street and Bitcoin futures as well. So I would really pay attention to the total chart. This is the total index of crypto. And if you want to take a peek on the inside, using some of these indicators, we're still on total, right? We are up cross. The only thing that's keeping our rally alive is we are uptrending on these moving averages, okay? It's just a lagging trend indicator. But on our 1 minute, 5 minute, and 15 minute, we're starting to see a little bit of weakness, right? We just faded down into this 200 EMA, which only happens a couple times. So if we're going to bounce, it might happen in the next 12, 24 hours if we're going to bounce from this on a very, very short-term basis like that. If not, though, if our longer-term time frames are going to play out, then our H1 and our H4 is showing that we have a little bit of momentum loss on this rally. And Wall Street's closed, so there's no Wall Street to buy the dip, tomorrow 6 o'clock a.m. and Sunday 6 o'clock a.m. So it's going to be up to the bots and algorithms if they're going to do that or not. But this is already proving to me we're losing some momentum on the H4 chart. And usually it takes a couple of days for that to play out, not 5 minutes. Okay, we just lost short-term EMA cross on a H1. What am I talking about? And it's on a Bitcoin chart. I'm looking at it on my other screen right now. At least on my screen. Oh, never mind. It decrossed. So it's hesitating down here right now because on the very, very short-term time frames, we hit oversold. So some bots and algorithms, they're programmed to buy that on the bottom. Try to scalp. So I hope that helps answer the question of are we going to go up or going to go down. There's a slightly higher chance we're going to go down at this moment in time, this very second, this very minute. Why? Because we're at the resistance and there's not that much bull follow through to push us through the ceiling. We need to blow through the ceiling. We need to blow up the ceiling here. As bulls, right? Global bulls need to do this. But the problem is how many people do you know in public, general public, are so hyped on crypto compared to 2020? The hype died out when Dogecoin died out, hype. So I hope people realize that. Yes, I remember people were going absolutely nuts. People were going bonkers in their mind. They're so hyped up last year on crypto. It was ridiculous because of the bull moves, right? We might get continuation, but it's a little slower right now. So that's why I'm not saying it's over. Okay. But that's why I don't like to talk about opinions too much. It's just I need to see the price action. I need to see the break of resistance, and then that'll confirm the breakout for me. It just says Friday. People who made a ton of money on Shiba coin or CEI stock, they are playing golf right now. They are having fun right now. They're just playing games, or they're playing golf, or they're going out, or they're done for this weekend. So there's that factor too. People made a lot of money, they're done right now. People who lost a lot of money, they're done. They quit this weekend. They said, I'm done. I don't want to think about this anymore. And then they're done, right? But the thing is as what I learned from many years in crypto and stocks is we never want to walk away from the market, right? Meaning that I never just quit and walk away and have zero plan and don't understand like where are things going, right? You could take a vacation, but it's, don't quit. Because I remember one of my mentors in a story, he taught me he's a pro, he was a professional um, stock hedge fund trader. His firm, they lost $1 million in one day because they made a mistake, right, on the charts and the trading, right? But the thing is, they did not quit. He went home. He didn't flip out and, lose his mind. He thought about it, understood what did he do wrong, what did he need to do right. He went to sleep and he came back to work the next day. And in the coming months, he made millions more profit back. See, that's what I'm talking about. As a bull, you never give up. As a bull, you don't give up, even if you have a loss. But you have to figure out why you had the loss, right? And then fix that problem, fix that issue. So um, I know people like, for example, in the El Salvador news crash, is a lot of people on this one day on the stream were very, very stressed out, angry because of the crash. But I said, just have patience and wait for the bounce. And then the bounce happened. And then when this happened, I said, watch out for the resistance breakdown. And the resistance breakdown happened. Here in my Discord, I said, watch for this higher low support. And that happened. And now September 30th, I said, there's 2 spots to buy. Right? So we don't try not to give up if you're new or if you have losses. But it's a matter of like knowledge and skills. Because I view sometimes, this is like psychology for like 5 minutes. I view trading sometimes it's like fighting. We're fighting. It's the fight between the bulls and the bears in whatever market you're in, right? It's like boxing. So the problem with stocks and crypto is anybody can jump into the boxing ring and try their best to fight the heavyweight champion of the world, the Wall Streets of the world. That's the problem with the stocks and crypto markets. Anybody can bring their money into the boxing ring, right? And then try their best to punch and win against Wall Street. But 90%, 95% of the time, based on statistics, is we're going to get wrecked. We're going to lose all our money. And getting losses is what I mean. So the beauty of TradingView changed a lot in a good way. There's so much more education, ideas, indicators, watch list tools. Like when I started, half the features on TradingView did not even exist back then. There was no streaming when I started TradingView. There was none of that. So TradingView changed a lot. And if you just, commit to the front page of TradingView, the education and the ideas, and just like try to soak it all in and study on your own as well, that's how you're training for boxing. It's like your Rocky moment, right? You're trying to strengthen your mind and your skills, your knowledge and your skills, so you can become competitive, become a contender. And then, right? Yeah. So that's why I just like realistically try to warn people about that is there's very few jobs or opportunities where you could just jump in and try to compete against contenders, like the number one contenders, champions in the world. Like for example, sports. I can't just walk onto NFL, NBA, or MLB field for baseball, football, or basketball and then try to just win, right? So that's what we're doing here in the market is we're walking onto the most professional financial trading arena in the entire world, crypto and stock market, and we're trying to win. So that's the like mental framework I'm trying to like get across to people. So if somebody studies, practices enough, you could get pretty good, right? You can beat people. If you become better than the average guy at your local park or something, or average guy in the market, then you could win, right? It's possible. But I'm always weary and worried about these people who are like staring at a 1 minute chart on Bitcoin and like trading every candle. And they're just like, they show me charts like this. I'm like, uh-oh, you know, this person, and maybe they drew one thing, it's not bad, but it's like, we're missing the way, way big picture here, right? Even though this is a setup, but I don't like to show 1 minute, the target's up here, but I don't like to show 1 minute because scalping crypto, unless you're like a futures trading, is not as profitable as doing much, much longer trading, longer term trading. Okay, so that was that kind of like perspective. Let's finish up here. Sion, ALGO. Okay, I'm gonna keep doing these like much faster. That was at Adam. So symmetrical triangle, plus or minus 20% in the long term. I was on Phil, VeChain. I was on Ethereum Classic. So ETC, I'll just draw support and resistance. I'll blaze through these real fast. 75 and 44, resistance 55, with the trend line support down here like that. Same deal. But now you can see it's stuck on the EMA resistance. XTZ, I trade all time frames. I do not trade crypto as much because there's commission fees, like day trading, scalping. I don't do that anymore. I used to, but because there's commission fees, the 0.05% or so on Binance, trading commission fees on every trade, and then you have slippage, meaning the spread price difference between the bidders and the ask, the buyers and the sellers, right? You lose money on every single scalp unless you're doing like Shiba Inu. So you need volatility to make money on day trading for crypto. Stocks is different because stocks, the commission fees were eliminated in October 2019. That's why for USA traders, a lot of traders went back to stocks because there's no commissions and then when the meme stock revolution happened in January, February, March, a lot of traders just stayed in stocks. So for crypto, I'm more of a medium term to long term trader. Like I want to capture not 2% as a day trader, 1%, 2% scalp. I want to capture 100%, 50%, right? The big moves of crypto. That's what I'm trying to capture. And I think that'll be beneficial for other people too. Like if somebody has $1,000 account and just make 1% or 10%, it's like that's not really enough profits for a sustainable trading enterprise. Okay, can I please check Sand USDT? All right, yes I can. Sand USDT. Sand USDT. Okay, so this is obviously international coin. Let me go ahead and just check. So again, what I do is before I analyze something, just check you have the latest data. So I like the Huobi chart, because it has this here, the initial coin listing back here, right? Because if you only look at it like this, you're missing the left side of the data. So what I would do, my style, this is classical technical analysis, resistance, support, trend line. There's another trend line, baby trend line, right here. You could also draw a trend line like this. Okay, so now that we know, and just looking at this chart, this is very, Sandbox coin is very correlated with Bitcoin. It looks exactly the same. So again, I would highly recommend to watch Bitcoin very, very closely instead of just staring at the sand chart and ignoring Bitcoin. So please watch Bitcoin very closely. It is golden crossed up. Okay, nice. We did bounce off this pivot, but like all altcoins in the entire stream, we had this breakout right here. But like all altcoins in the stream, it's consolidating and having a little bit of issue right now with liquidity over the weekend. So a more accurate thing would be this little triangle right here. If someone's looking for the short term, medium term play, is this is 6% to 12% move here incoming. So if we lose 77 cents support, 6% down, 7% down would bring us to 71 cents. And that would make sense, like mentally, is that right here, X marks the spot. Also, you can kind of see visually, it might fade back down to this support level that I'm drawing right here, the blue, right there. So 71 is our downside target. If it goes up, 6% would, 6, 7 to 14% would bring us to this resistance point up here, like the 83 cents. mark. So that's what I watch out for. The thing is, that's why I'm not calling we're going to crash is it's just a consolidation. I've seen in crypto so many times the same pattern play out. Pull back, but then 2-4 weeks later, we get bull move up. Definitely possible because we just went from a downtrend to an uptrend. So we need to establish the higher low, which is this lower blue circle down here, to have a healthy uptrend. It's never good if crypto just went up like that because then you get a crash down and you become bag holders. Right? Whoever buys that at the top is a bag holder, right? You lose all your money. We never want that. So what's healthy is the consolidation pullback, textbook, consolidation pattern, continuation one day. So I would watch for those two scenarios. We could get continuation to the upside or failure if something bad happens, if there's any bad news next week or 2 weeks, and pull back down. So please keep in mind also it's a little related, a little correlated that we have stock earnings, bank earnings next week. So in the stock market, at least, we're going to get some volatility. All right. We try to go super fast on these. H bar, a trend line, and resistance zone on H bar. So if this is our lower high, you see this resistance, it just touched it and pulling back. So we're going to pull back to right here, 34 cents. If not, we're going to break through 42 cents. Next, EGLD. This thing kind of got messed up yesterday. Sometimes happens for whatever reason. Probably because I have too many charts open at one time. But EGLD in the past 2 days did find the support, the relative double bottom support right here and bounce up to the top of this range that we drew. So this trend line up here was here for a long time, 6 months. And this trend line down here was here for like a month, like that. So it is tightening, but it's tightening in an upward angle. So now resistance 296, support like 208. 208. So I'll watch out for that. EOS. EOS has been kind of quiet. It lost popularity compared to a couple years ago. I remember when EOS was like the coin. Things changed though. Resistance and support. And that's not correct. That's better. So again, this trend line was here for 6, 8, 9 months, like that. And we had the resistance, almost a perfect double top resistance right there. So interesting, EOS might be in a much, much longer term. If we, let me use extended trend line. That's why I like to use it. Extend it out. Just if EOS manages to hold a support for like another year, then we might get one more pump up on EOS. But that's like a weekly setup almost. Much probably too long term for people on the stream, right? But if somebody's willing to try and risk it and hold it, maybe. But the problem here is we did bounce off support, and if we don't hit this higher high like that, then it's gonna just weekly breakdown. AAVE, next coin. AAVE, different. Bull rally, consolidation, a little bit of pullback here. Need a resistance, 427, 255, 183, 635. Get these levels. This might not be the pivot point, so I'm actually going to use this one here because there's more touch points. There's actually 3 like that. If you just draw one right here, if it, the price could pull back and then you have to keep adjusting it. So using a more solid line sometimes is better for crypto. And then I would actually draw this trend line on the top like that, even though it violates it on the top side, but still it makes more sense. Okay. Trend, it was downtrending, we're uptrending, downtrending. So it's still downtrending right now on a daily if we're really honest with ourselves on AAVE. So is this the lower high? If it is, we're going to pull back down to 248 or 224. If we get a trend reversal and just pull back a little bit to 286, we might bounce back up to 371 range. Should be nice. So I'll watch out for that on AAVE. IOTA. And I'm going longer today because it's Friday in my country. So I'm pretty much done for this week. So I'm going to go longer today. We have support at $4 and $1.77. What I should point out though on IOTA, which is different, is suspicious looking daily upside down head and shoulders. Is this a bullish continuation pattern? If it is, we're going up 24% on IOTA. Very interesting. 161 is the target. If we lose it, we're going back down to the support 95 cents. I'm gonna leave that yellow drawing there. We are stuck at the resistance though. That's why I'm not super excited about it right now. I'm talking about this resistance right here. But IOTA has its own little baby setup going on right now. Interesting. So maybe IOTA. How to play IOTA, possible for educational reasons. But don't get excited because if Bitcoin pulls back, you know, IOTA is probably not going to go up that much. Less likely chance, but you know, still have to do a much larger, because the neckline, the shoulders here is like negative 10% down. So it's not the greatest risk to reward. This is a larger term swing type of trade. 2-to-1. But you can see here, if we get rejected at 136, we'll pull back down to $1.12. Okay, so if you try to buy it at right now at this moment in time, you might get stopped out. So there's two order spots. If I was going to trade IOTA, I would maybe wait for the breakout of here, 140 to be confirmed, or try to buy the support level down here if we fail 114. Because buying it in the middle right here is very questionable. You want defined breaks, just like Shiba Inu. You want defined breaks, meaning like Shiba Inu was stuck in this range like that. So is it going to break the top side for a breakout play, or is it going to hit the bottom side for a support long play? Both long plays, right? But it's just, if the price is right there, then it's a coin flip. But if it starts edging up towards here and breaks through, then it's a high chance. But if it starts edging down here and breaking down, then there's a high chance it's going to lose momentum like that. So same thing here. You could just draw this box like probably just like that and watch that on IOTA. Next one, GRT. GRT. So now if we realize, here, let me bring up this document that I just, very simple document that I was writing last night. Okay, the screen's going to get really bright white. But this is what I was doing to make this watch list last night. Okay, this is just some like education stuff. Is what I did is, and I recommend for everyone to do this if you're serious. If you're serious about trading, investing, and making watch lists. So this is like how to make a gigantic watch list. What I did is I went on Binance USA, and I wrote down every single. I made a brand new watch list for our stream, and wrote down every single crypto on Binance USA, and then I found out the market cap size of each, and then reorganized them in terms of size. So our largest market cap size, Bitcoin, at $1 trillion market cap. And you know, if you go down the list, once you get below ALGO on a Binance USA list, the market cap gets significantly smaller, right? You get less than 10 billion. Shiba is 9.17 billion right now. And then once you get below like a Raven coin or a basic attention token, you're in the millions. So these are much smaller coins. Like, we have to realize not every coin is equal in size. So that's why I highly recommend for people to do that, right? It's like getting sense of the market and just managing it. Okay, so that's what I was doing last night. And it's good to refresh it. Try to refresh it like every month or every couple months, right? Because 2 months ago, Shiba coin did not even exist on Binance. It was listed on September 13th. So just about 3 weeks ago. So, you know, a good thing to keep that in mind. So people ask me, what should I look at coin-wise? Well, if you want to have a lot of liquidity, just top 10 coins. Oh, you're not seeing my list? Oh, I guess I can't show documents. Wow, okay, I didn't know that. All right, yeah. So, wow, okay. It's just a Word document, just to give you a visual. Yeah, so sorry, I didn't know that. Uh, but it's just a Word document of it's a list, just Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance Coin, Cardano, XRP, Solana, and then just right next to Bitcoin, I wrote down the market cap 1.02 trillion. So I just made a list for myself of, and then I organized it on the watch list. So now you have a watch list um, organized by market cap. So at a certain point, trying to play like OXT Orchid, which only has, what is it, 227 million market cap. That's still large, but it's still small. The liquidity, not many people are trading it. OXT, not many people are hodling it. Although there was an 87% move. But I would not put all my money in OXT, right? Because the liquidity is too small. If Bitcoin is $1 trillion market cap, you somebody could theoretically try to hodl and go all in on Bitcoin at the right spot in time, right? But I would not go all in on any small coins. Like I would only use a percentage of my account because of liquidity. I've gotten stuck in trades before and got screwed over on slippage and just massive, crashes and stuff when I used to try to trade um, really aggressively on like every small coin out there. So basically, you just want to stay in the $1 billion range market cap. Um, and if you don't know what to trade, just trade like Bitcoin itself. It's the most liquid crypto out there. You can still make gains, right? I mean, 37%, 30%. That's pretty good. That's 3 years of stock market average gains in like 2 weeks. It's absolutely wonderful. All right, so now I know I can't show documents on my stream. Very smart system we have here. So yeah, anything below Ravencoin on my list is less than $1 billion market cap. All right, I don't think I could do everything because you know it's gonna take too long. We'll just flip through and just look for anything. It's consolidation, possible head and shoulders on waves, another consolidation on maker. HNT. So this is interesting on HNT. Is HNT is much harder to draw a triangle. We could see it like this, I guess. Yeah. So all these coins trying to establish their lower high. OMG is different, right? We had the breakout of OMG, very nice, which we pointed out here. And again, this is how you could do TA like very easily, okay? Because you notice that I'm not using 20 indicators on my screen. You can, this is why support and resistance is foundational for technical analysis, is you draw the trend line like that. You could also draw the extended trend line like that. And now you have a breakout setup and a support level in play. And then you have to draw this horizontal one here and like that. So all you had to look out for OMG was set one alert at 10:36, and I'll show you how to do that. Right here, you can turn horizontal lines into alerts. I don't know if you knew that, but 10:36, right here, OMG crossing what? 10:36 every single time. Open-ended, meaning it's never gonna expire. Show a pop-up on my screen, send it to my email, and then I'm gonna write OMG breakout of resistance play to myself on a 1-day chart. And I'm gonna create that. Oh, I'm on a log scale. Don't mind that last one. And I created the alert. Right? So if you pay for TradingView, you should have alerts. I'm not sure about the free uh, account. don't know if you can make alerts or a watch list on a free account that much, like a large one. But if you have a pro account or a premium account, you can set alerts. This is how I do it. And then you put the support level like right here, if 840 or 880, right? Let's say 840 every time. In free, it's one alert. Okay, but still, it's still useful. OMG, uh, 1 day chart. This is how I do it. Breakdown of support level. And that's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. That's all you have to do. And then you have to make sure you pay attention to your alerts, right? Here's what I was saying to the guy, whoever thankfully brought Shiba Inu to our attention on the stream 1 or 2 weeks ago, is I exactly told the guy, I said, we're here in this parallel channel. I said, if we break 918, we're most likely going to go up. At least the measurement of the channel, 50 to 100%. We ended up going 300%. So all somebody had to do is put one alert on your free account if you really believe in this. And where? 918. Make sure you type in the right 918, but I'm doing it real fast right now. SHIB USDT 1 day breakout of resistance play buy, or you could just, whatever you want to write to yourself. And then once that triggered on October 2nd and 3rd, boom, you have to make a decision. Are you going to commit to your alert or not? That's how simple it is. For breakout plays, although breakout plays are never safe. They're not the safest thing to do. But how I'd set alert on Bitcoin is right here, is at 40,674, I would put an alert, 40,674 Bitcoin every time. And I would say BTC USD 1 day. Support level, double bottom pattern potential buy. Right? Now you could maybe have to put a little higher than that. But I think it did touch it. Maybe it didn't touch it. But you get what I'm saying, right? If you kind of figured this out, maybe I would have actually put it a little higher. Maybe I put multiple alerts too, so I don't get screwed over. I put one at 41, and then I duplicate and make a copy at 40,000, just because of what happened. So one of these wicks would have triggered it, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So even if you're not looking at the chart and you have one alert, if you have one alert on free, or you only have a couple alerts on your pro account, like 20 alerts or something, is if you're a long, you want to set alerts on the support areas. So how do we have no FOMO is if you combine all the tools and techniques of technical analysis, okay? Meaning, let me do a fresh Bitcoin really fast. Resistance, support, resistance, resistance. Now we have those levels, okay? And trend line. You don't have to draw as many as me, but I'm just doing it to future-proof the stream. And somebody could have also done this. Like you could have drawn this trend line here and understood that if we broke through 50,000, we're most likely going up to 55, 54,000. And then there's another trend line here on resistance. So once we broke through 46,000, you see we had the consolidation and the breakout. So then you could have put your alerts like anywhere, wherever the signal, whatever strategy you're trying to do. But for beginners, I would say try to put it at the lower support levels. This is actually more intermediate, because first you have to understand what is resistance and support, right? Resistance is the ceiling. Support is the floor. So if you want to try to have profits, is as a long, it's my job to buy support. I love support. Support's my best friend in the market. Support's my best friend. Support is your best friend as a long, right? Because this right here, in the beginning of the Dogecoin crash, this is not support. It's not a very strong support. It's like 2 candles. right? So somebody got wrecked there and got destroyed. That's why I like to keep track of daily chart, because you see here, this turned into this pattern and there was multiple levels of support like this. So let me draw it again. Is why I know Wall Street people, they bought this exactly. Larger firms, they saw this downward sloping wedge pattern forming like that. There's boom right here. So where's the support? Right there. That was forecastable for 3 months straight. Once this line was drawn, you extend it out, and then you know if we start losing momentum, you crash down, boom, you buy right there. Last chance to buy on this breakout was the breakout resistance. That's why there's always two spots to buy. One is less risky than the other. So I went long here on Bitcoin like the first time, somewhere like right here off the bounce, because I know from experience, support is my best friend. Support has the highest chance of making money as a long, as a bull. Green, right? And then it's just a matter of, do I understand technical analysis to let it go all the way? So again, the same concept applies. That was a downward sloping wedge pattern breakout strategy play. The difference here is, I remember I called this, boom, we're going to hit that lower high here. We found resistance, and in my Discord and streams, I said we're going to pull back down, which we did, found another lower low. And then on search and stream, there's a triangle pattern right here. And look at all the support right here. Price, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. We tested 40,000, 41,000, and we're not crashing below that. That means there's a line in the sand that our bulls have drawn and say, we are not leaving. We are holding 40,000 with our account or position, right? Then boom, you buy. You don't even have to, it doesn't matter what the R side looks like. It doesn't matter, like, you know what I mean? Too many people get caught up on all the 500 indicators here that are available, right? The 200 indicators. It doesn't have to be that hard. But you need to have emotional discipline and knowledge of what you're doing in the market. And you could draw these trend lines too. And once you see that support, that's enough. That's all I need to see. And then it's all about trade management and risk management. How much was I willing to risk on this one trade? Not my whole account, partial capital. And the target was at least 10%. We can measure this triangle right here and even get that's where we got the 20% target, from the bottom to the top, from the breakout, almost 20%. Actually, excuse me, we did go 20% on this magnet, weak magnet, 10%. Okay, fine, 10%, the conservative target. But 20% might be the ultimate target from this breakout. So I'm not ruling that out. 57. Okay, so the problem is once people like start out, is like, where do people need to, like, what's the right direction people should start in technical analysis? It's price. Become a master of analyzing price and price patterns, and you'll be miles ahead of everyone else. Because the bad habits that I see from some other people, like some of my friends, they'll go on Robinhood, they'll just look at the percentage. They'll open the phone and be like, ooh, this thing's up like 50%, and then like they'll just FOMO in and jump in on Robinhood trades. I'm like, they're gonna get wrecked, and usually they do get wrecked, right? Or you get coin market cap and just Shiba Inu up like 300%, and you're like, oh, and a trader might be like, oh my gosh, it's up 300%. This is the next Dogecoin 2.0, and just jump in without any analysis, and then they get hurt in the market, right? So just doing a little bit of technical analysis of analyzing the price and the volume, support and resistance trend lines, puts you miles ahead of other people. How? You'll be able to forecast price levels that people don't even know about, like this. Or let me do the other one, a longer term one. We tighten this up a little bit better. The candle body closes. So now we'll see if this is our pivot point today. Okay, you can forecast out somewhere in the middle right here. 47,000 might be in the cards for crypto, for Bitcoin. How do I know this? Because a lot of times, this is way more advanced though, is when you see a price inflection like this, is what's the average of it? Right in the middle. It's right here. Somewhere here. Just like a quick visual, like 45, 46, 47. Okay, so that's how I know from experience. If we're going to equilibrium here, then we're probably going right here. So this is why you can forecast out this general area spot. There's other tools that's more advanced. I'm not going to show them right now, but that's the general easy way to do it. If this is the top, if this is the bottom, what's the average middle? Right there, generally speaking. Right, so we know price likes to reversion to the mean strategy a lot of times, right? So if we get rejected here, it's going to eventually break down. Okay, so just doing that analysis, we now have a better idea than someone else in the world right now who's, not even thinking about crypto at all or technical analysis. So it doesn't have to be hard. My style, I refined my style over time, and it's much more simple than other people's. But there's potential to make money if we do it right. Just be brave. Commit to my position size right here. Right, I'm not going all in with my whole account here because it's questionable, right? But the first target's 20%, second target 40%. There's a third target, 60%. So 1, 2, 3 targets. 1, 2, 3. And take 33% profit on the way up, and then I was done out of that trade. Or 25%. And then leave a small amount, and okay, if it fades down, oh well, right? But if I held it long enough, I could have sold it up here, the first position. So it doesn't have to be complicated, but you do have to draw trend lines correctly. Okay, we'll look at XRP in a second, because I did see somebody, not you guys, but I did see somebody like on like a YouTube or something, drawing like weirdo trend lines. Like it's not, this is not technical analysis, right? If you just do that, that's for a trend line, no way. Or this, no way. That doesn't make any sense at all, right? Trend lines and support and resistance has to have minimum 2 touch points, just like all the books taught us, right? The creators of technical analysis. Minimum 2 touch points, minimum 2 touch points, minimum 2 touch points, minimum 2 touch points, right? Then you start getting usable trend lines. All right, so let's go to XRP. Here's the thing with XRP. We have to realize that XRP got kicked off the USA exchanges because of their lawsuit problem with the SEC, institution of USA. That's why you don't see me analyzing XRP anymore, because it's not tradable on Binance USA or Coinbase. But it's tradable worldwide, global exchanges. So that's why I'm not discounting XRP. But then for me, in my mind, fundamentally though, wait a second, if XRP got kicked off all the USA exchanges, and people can't buy it easily, it's like if something gets kicked out of all Walmart stores and Target stores in America, the value is not going to be as good anymore. The value might go up globally, but it's like, the sentiment is I can't even buy XRP anymore. But let's still do the analysis for global traders. First thing is try to get the chart that has the most data. Might be one of the Asian exchanges, yeah. So see XRP back in the day, I remember this insanity pump. At least the 2017 data of the first crypto pump back in the days. All right, so XRP is consolidating right now on the day chart. And again, what are we doing here? Boom, resistance at 140, support at 91, a larger resistance at 180, more important support at 72, which used to be a flipping point, 54 cents. So now that we have that boxed in, right here, we could draw some intermediate trend lines, boom, like this, intermediate trend lines, boom, like that. And start analyzing the trend first. We were downtrending, we were uptrending, we double topped here, downtrending, and now this could just be, it's still a downtrend, okay? We're not out of the downtrend on a lot of these altcoins. And XRP looks like a lot of altcoins, but this applies to everything. is this is a confirmed downtrend going downstairs. This is confirmed uptrend. This is confirmed downtrend. Okay. The two scenarios I'm seeing here for Bitcoin and altcoins is this. If this turns into, if this pulls back down and rounds like that, we might have an upside down head and shoulders, bullish reversal pattern of 21% up or down. So $1.30 or $1.70, excuse me, or 79. So $1.30 or 79, like that. Okay. We can, bounce around here just fine. But at this point in time, if you're looking at a daily chart or H4 or H1, it could go on a daily chart. It's like a 50-50 right now because you're in the middle. Why? Because it's still technically a downtrend. This is the lower high right here. So how do you get out of this? You need to establish a higher low and a higher high. Then we will know in a daily we're in an uptrend and try to break out. So this could still fail over time, or it could consolidate like that and nobody knows what's going to happen to XRP, right? But again, it's the clear levels that you need to watch out for. $1.11.98 right there. And then the big one down here, 90. If we lose 90, then it's going down to 80, most likely. Boom, like that, down to the circle. The reverse is true if we hold this, if we hold a dollar supports, and then boom, like this, right? We might get a bull break. All right, thanks so much for watching. Everybody, yeah, if you're like, if it's late in your country, you got to go, you got to go. For me, it's early afternoon, so I'm still awake here in USA. But I'm not going to stream this weekend because I pretty much finished with my work today. I do have a free Discord group if you want to join. I have a basic free watch list for stocks and crypto. And basically what I said about stock market and crypto almost exactly happened correctly this week with stocks and crypto. So that weekly watch list is useful. And with earnings coming up next week, and I do know people want to see some chart setups occasionally. So I'm starting to think about which one of those I might want to release when I find them. And we'll just try to keep doing good technical analysis. Oh, you're in the Discord. Okay, great. So yes, you know what I'm talking about then. So thanks so much for joining and watching. I'll probably go like 18 more minutes. So if you gotta go, you gotta go. But let's switch over to stocks. So what I was looking at today is stocks. All right. Now we're looking at S&P 500. Got to change my mindset. I'm not in crypto anymore. I'm in stocks. USA stock market has been wonderful this year. But the problem is we are in a daily confirmed downtrend. Why? Because we have Federal Reserve tapering. We have earnings coming up. We have Evergrande fears. We have Delta variant, right? Although, okay, Ford Motor. Although, I can kind of feel it in the world right now. The younger people in the world, I'm feeling it on social media, is they want to get out. Especially people in Asia, certain countries in Asia, they're starting to get their vaccines. I'm noticing with masks on, they're starting to go out more. So interesting, that might cause a little bit more spending in the economy. But we just saw the jobs report today um, come out, and yes, unemployment did improve, but then some people are just quitting their jobs, or like they don't want to work certain jobs because of the variant. Also, the big thing for Disney was the IATSE strike. All the movie and TV studio crew members went on strike. 98% of them. It was like, wow, that's huge for the entertainment industry, for Disney stock. Okay, so we'll do Ford Motor Company. We'll just look at these really fast. So Dow Jones, um, our target is we are downtrending. Okay, so that's still a problem. I said in my Discord we're going to hit the support and then the lower high right here. We are consolidating to the right a little bit. It makes sense. We're just trying to hold above 34.6K, right? So we could, if this holds here and we make the higher low, then totally possible. Totally possible. Might be good, right? But just watch out because it's still technically a daily downtrend. How are we going to get out of this? Higher highs and higher lows like that to hit one of our targets here at the circles. The line of the circle, it's like 1.5 to 3%. Okay, SPX downtrending still, and I called this in my Discord. We're hit on September 30th, October 1st. We're going to test the support. What does that mean? We're going to test the bottom first, right? We're going back here. We're going to test this support, and then we're going to hit this lower high on the resistance. Okay. So the problem is we have a gap support here now, right? Lower low, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, like that. So it needs to hold here so we could break up above this. If it doesn't, we could actually pull back significantly here starting next week. We did see a little bit of sell off here, so that's, you know, we're gonna get a repeat of this. That's why you want to watch out for that. IXIC, Nasdaq still on the daily downtrend. Okay, this is a little worse than the other ones. So Dow Jones right here, right, hitting this lower high. So I said we're gonna test the support, then go test the lower high. Fading back down on IXIC is not good. It's not good, right? We're back into the gap fill of the support zone. So what needs to happen if we're going to do a bull continuation is we might pull back and it might turn to upside down head and shoulders maybe, right? Gap fill here to support for bulls. If we're going to continue up, it needs to do this. If not, definitely fade back down. If we crash down, then I gotta take profit in all my stock positions. All right. So Ford Motor Company. Okay. So I did do a very, very long-term analysis on this one. Okay. So here's how you do this is, and make sure, just side note, you want to get the right ticker symbol, right? Because I see it sometimes people type in Ford word and that's the wrong ticker. Ford Motor Company's F ticker symbol. So just be careful about that stuff, like on stocks. So Ford is hitting its previous 1999 dot-com boom resistance level. So that's going to be a significant level. Almost there, not quite. Almost there. I'm on a log chart right now, so I could see all the way back to 1969 prices. So what I would do is, even though this is not textbook perfect, I would still use this, okay, as a pivot point, right? Let's say we got violated down here on this, the 2008 crash, just to give us some context, right? So it is possible if somebody's a super mega bull on the US stock market, that maybe this is a 10, 20, 30-year long ascending triangle. The problem is will Ford Motor Company break out above this now or not? Okay, so then we zoom in on the weekly. We had our pandemic crash and our subsequent recovery rally, and we are almost double topping at the price level of 1635 right now. So you can see here, after the pandemic crash, every single stock almost went up. We were uptrending, and for the first time, we broke out to the side of here, which is bad. We lost that support level. Okay, that's bad. But then with the EV tax credit news, we rallied up. That was like 2 weeks ago or so. One of our members wrote down the Discord group. Hopefully his position is still doing well. Probably, I think it's still doing well because I think what two people asked me for Ford a long time ago, like a couple weeks ago, and it was still in the downtrend right here. We're talking about in the downtrend on the daily right here, and I was saying this is a good value support, and then but if we're gonna break out, to watch right here, and that's exactly what happened. Breakout, retest, break, rally. It's very nice move on Ford from what we're talking about, 14% to the upside. But now the question is how much follow through are we gonna get? Somebody could draw a very dirty Elliott wave like that. Okay, so it might be the end of the fifth wave here. Keep in mind we have earnings on stocks on October 8th. Wait a second. No, that doesn't sound right. Because that would be today. This date seems wrong. Yeah, so probably have to double check on a different exchange. So it says 19 days. Yeah, okay. So this thing was wrong. It's October 27. So October 27, right here, could be, it would make sense if people were short here, also technical wise, shorting, and then if they're all wrong, there's a short squeeze, and then we're up here, and then bulls take control, options traders, breakout play people, right? This was measurable right here, 7% to the upside, but it's because of the EV tax credit news. That was a huge fundamental boost for Ford and for Tesla. Okay, so I'll watch out for that in this range. I'm not saying sell or anything. It's just be cautious, right? Because there is a potential loss of momentum, just like on Bitcoin right here, that's building on the H4 and the H1 charts, and the H1 chart as well. 15 minutes is a different story. It's still up crossed. So it's still up crossed. It's just, it might pull back down a little bit. That's what it looks like to me on Ford stock. Keep in mind, stock's all about fundamentals. Okay, but then if you only look at it right here for like 3 months of data, you're gonna miss the big picture drawn of this giant yellow box. Is anything above 1653 is the year 2000, 1999 mega resistance on Ford. So I'm probably expecting there are massive sell orders right there, 1653. There's going to be a battle there if we ever get to 1653. So we could continue to rally a little bit right into earnings. Maybe we try to test 1628 and then maybe pull back. And if Ford has bad earnings, then I would expect to pull back down. Another clue, we could try Fibonacci. So right here, we hit, see our Fibonacci level, 618, boom, 382 level, pull back, hit the 236. So then if we're going to get a full retracement, that's 1628, right? We could pull back to 1449 before we get there. So that's kind of that longer medium term and analysis on Ford. Just keep an eye out for the earnings in 3 weeks from now. Okay. One thing I do want to cover is CEI, because CEI, we talked about CEI, the insanity of CEI. And with CEI, it's Canberra Energy stock. It was a very, very cheap stock. This is not recommended for like beginners because of the volatility, and I'll show you why. Right? If you're a beginner, like focus on like SPY, yeah, S&P 500 ETF, Dow Jones ETF, Nasdaq, or like the top 10 stocks in the world by size, like an Apple, like an Amazon, um, that type of stuff. And if you're beginner to Bitcoin beginner, just only focus on like Bitcoin, Ethereum, not like Shiba. You know what I mean? If you just started last week or something, you know what I mean? It's because there's so much volatility. Because if you're on the wrong side of the volatility, you lose all your money. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so with Camber Energy CEI, the most like traded stock in the past like week, is the ultimate support was August 18. And again, not very many people knew about CEI. I certainly didn't 2 years ago, right? But then this trend line was here since for a whole year. So this exact little dot spot was there for ultimate no FOMO play. But if somebody missed that, there was still the breakout play, because we've seen this thing break out 1, 2, 3 times. Um, and so there's that more dangerous because it's like 10x up on the off of the bottom, right? But you know, still went 200%. But this is why we don't want to FOMO. We don't want to FOMO on a CEI, because I remember on this day when I saw this shooting star pattern. This is a reversal pattern. If you know Japanese candlesticks, a one daily candlestick reversal pattern weakness, and I knew I'm not going to long this. No way. And how much did it pull back? This is why people got destroyed on CEI. Negative 50%, negative 80% to the downside from top to bottom, right? So if somebody bought here on accident, 462, like maybe a Robinhood, aggressive Robinhood day trader or aggressive stock trader who didn't do analysis and just looking at price and jumped in on FOMO, got destroyed. in this stock. Negative 38, negative 50, negative 80% destruction. That's why if something's up a little too far, it's a difficult skill to master, but self-control. Sometimes if I'm struggling with that, what's like what happens once in a while, right? If something's FOMOing so hard, what I do is make sure all my positions are closed and I turn my computer off and I walk away, right? If it's really bad. But that usually doesn't happen these days. Before I turn the computer off, is you still have to chart it though. Understand what's going on a longer term. Okay, CEI hit this 0.888 retracement, rally to the 618, and then pull back down. Very simple play. I know I told people to stay away from this for if you're a beginner, but intermediate advanced to a professional knew that this might be some relative bottom here, and very risky to do this, but still ended up being a nice like 100% play into the close of yesterday, right? But that's very rare. This is like the Shiba Inu of stocks, right? If it's going to go up a lot, it's going to go. It's going to go down a lot, it's going to crash, right? But there are ways to analyze this without getting super FOMOed out in your mind to the point where we can't think anymore as traders. Just simple Fibonacci, or I was telling somebody you could draw a simple trend line. See, that one worked. This one worked, right? It hit the top of this trend line and pull back down. There's also that double top. There's so many signals. There's like 10 signals. If we're able to keep our wits about us and understand technical analysis. Okay, so yes, on TradingView there's all these crazy ones, but this is basically penny stock trading, or basically low float stock trading. Right? But if someone's starting out, okay, we have to realize, where did the S&P 500 just come from? We had our pandemic low. It's beautiful. Right here. So if anyone just bought the SPY ETF, you would be up 96%. No one probably could have been able to do that though, as that's perfect trading. But I'm saying maximum. So maybe like half of that, 50%, right? 50% gains in 1 year is a phenomenal investment for investing. Crypto is different because it's so volatile. But, I would caution people, because right now in stocks, the last time we had a pullback like this was September 2020. I shouldn't draw on this chart. That's my idea. But September 2020, we had a larger pullback, right? And now September 2021, we're getting a larger pullback as well. So that was top to bottom, negative 10%. Okay, so top to bottom here, we only went 6%. So if we go down negative 10%, that'll bring us down here to 4,081. And that would be a lot of red in the market for other stocks and such. So we just have to keep that in mind. Always keep in mind our two scenarios. If we have a bear break to the downside, did I adjust my stop losses, which I need to, right? And my take profits. Because if this was more green, okay, good. But if it's not, if Monday, Tuesday we start pulling back, I have to take profit on my stock positions. Because I went long on several stocks down here. So my longer term target is up here. My medium term target is somewhere right here. So I could probably sell half of my position to maintain my profits. Right? So, that's what we covered on. We did a lot of crypto today because I know a lot of people on the stream are crypto traders. So that's why I did like 80% crypto and then a little bit of stock at the end, and try to sprinkle in some educational lessons along the way. So I hope this helped everybody in some capacity. And again, if you're just starting out, I encourage you to try to learn as much as possible before you risk any money in the market. Try to study and practice. Like here on TradingView, how do you practice? You could paper trade for free. You could paper trade Bitcoin, like the USD pairings. Actually, now it's a lot different. Any USD pairing you can probably paper trade, and you could go crazy with it. You could, what I mean? You could swing trade. You could invest, paper trade. You can try to scalp. You could try to day trade to your heart's content, and then all the profit and loss is saved for you on the bottom of the screen. So you could paper trade stocks or crypto. I would highly encourage you to do that. Do that. You could test your strategies. You could try to, this is more advanced, but edit some code easily. You could use stock screeners, right? You could use crypto screeners. You could use the replay tool. This thing is awesome. I love the replay tool. Where is it? This thing, bar replay. This is how I study the charts. Yeah, paper trade. Oh, is paper trade on mobile? Beautiful. Yeah, so it's become like a master, right? I don't think a lot of people use this though, bar replay. I love bar replay. You could literally replay it because to me, when I was younger, I was really into sports, right? So it's like I would always be trying to figure out like how can I prove myself? How can I improve myself? Or in my creative endeavors, as my hobbies, right? Like how can I prove myself? So then you could watch the recording, watch the replay, and we could see the bar. Let me turn this stuff off. Boom. It's like, wait a second. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What's going on? We're losing our support here. We're finding a top at 4514. Wait a second. Uh-oh. Bear break. Attempt bear break. Loss of support. The battle. And then once I knew this with huge volume, like, yeah, we're done. With the boom. See, that's why people know next day traders, boom, you're going to do a big short on Wall Street. Then the bounce. Yep. Gap fill from experience. And then we found our resistance point. And then, yep, shorting down again. Downtrend ensues. We're going to hit lower lows. Test it, like I was saying, and then lower high bounce up where we are right now. Okay, so that's how you practice. And you can do it with indicators and without indicators. But I'll recommend first try to get good at price, support, resistance, trend on every single asset you want. Master it, right? Because that's how I'm able. Once I get better at that, that's how I'm able to call a week ahead in advance. We're gonna go down and then we're gonna go up. That's how I can make money. I'm way ahead of other people in the stock market, right? Because I'm not waking up and reacting for two minutes at a time. How I learned this style is because larger hedge funds and institutions is when they have $500 million or billions of dollars under assets, they are not day trading $50 million a day. It takes them months to get rid of their position. So here, hedge funds were starting to sell their tech stocks for like 3 months starting on this side, right? Retail doesn't know that, right? But hedge funds, they announced it, and then you could see if you have enough experience in the market, you know what this is, right? Because why would we get such strong selling? And they actually, like a couple of hedge funds on Bloomberg, they actually said it. They're going to start shorting. So that's what I knew. At some point, I'm going to short as well, and I shorted starting from here. Closed it, then bought the support, and then I flipped around now. So, long story short, just want to get good at technical analysis before indicators. Indicators are nice, and I use indicators too. But to me, they're secondary because they're all calculated from the price itself. So the price is the most important indicator of all technical analysis, and then volume is second. So I encourage you guys, whatever level you're at, beginner, intermediate, or advanced, is to just, if we put in a little bit of work on our charts, we could be miles ahead of other people, other retail traders, and we can get way ahead of this and try to increase our chances of profitability. Okay, so I know I went really long today. I went double the time I used to go. It's a Friday afternoon, and I'm pretty much done with this week. And then on Sunday or Monday, I'll publish my weekly watch list and updates on my charts, per usual. So I hope everybody enjoyed this stream. If you liked or learned something, go ahead and give me a follow on TradingView or YouTube or Twitch, and consider joining my free Discord group. All the social media links are in my profile. And we have one more question. What's the best way to learn charts? First, you have to study the knowledge. You have to study charts. but not just doing this. I'm saying study books about charts. So if you don't know what books to start with, um, then study the front page of TradingView. Start there, the education, learn from that. And if you want additional education, probably go to Google, right? I mean, if you really want to learn from me, you can set up a paid coaching session with me if you really want to. But it's like school. Just treat it like school. I know it's boring, but um, there are technical analysis books out there. There's technical analysis education ideas on the front page of TradingView, all those little squares, articles. And then once you learn the tools and the techniques of technical analysis, which I've been showing you for 2 hours straight, support, resistance, right? Resistance, support, trend lines, right? That was 4 lines. Or if I erase this was 4 lines, right? This is 4 lines. I drew 4 lines and I understand exactly what's going to happen here. Well, maybe a 5th line right there. So if you draw 4 or 5 lines, that's how you do it, right? The reason why I improved is I obsessively studied and worked on technical analysis. And like at some point I was charting for like 4 hours straight. You know, sometimes I'm looking at 100 charts per day, doing this, and pre-planning my trades way ahead of time, right? I could have pre-planned this trade way ahead of time. So that's what you got to do. And most people, they don't want to do that. That's why if you want to get into the top 1% or 5%, 10% of traders, is you have to do what other people do not want to do. Other people do not want to study. Other people do not want to practice. But if you are the kind of person who is, you want to become a contender, you want to become a champion, you want to become successful in trading and charting, then you got to study and you got to practice. So meaning you study the concept from the TA, education of books, and then on your TradingView free account, right? Chart every single thing you can think of. Chart all the cryptos on your exchange of USA, Bitcoin. There's 60 coins. Chart all of them, or at least chart Bitcoin, right? And in stocks, chart the top 10 stocks or chart the indexes and get good at it. Get good at it. I practice every single day, hundreds of charts, 50 charts a day, right? That's how I could do it so fast. So hopefully that answers that question. So thanks so much, everybody, for joining and watching. Hope you have a nice day, night, weekend. And again, if you want to join my TradingView group or Discord group, that's open for everybody right now. And see you next time on the stream. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.